Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back to another video. I did want to take a second and just say we have been going live and I've been really busy with that. So if you want to come join us live for some gameplay and some Q&A, feel free to stop in and say hello. And let me know if you like the landscape version or this vertical version of the videos. I can try to make it on the PC if you would prefer having more of a landscape video. So please let me know in the comments below, but let's dive into today's video. So everybody is asking how to get to headquarters 30 as fast as you can. And one of the best ways to do so is to build your headquarters. And to start off, you will see you always have something you will need to upgrade in order to upgrade your headquarters. So for me, I have the Alliance Hub. I am currently building that. But every single level, there's going to be at least 2 buildings you will have to upgrade. And it's going to be one of the following: the wall, a drill grounds, a barracks, the tech center, the Alliance Hub, and a hospital. And last would be one of the centers. So either missile, aircraft, or tank center, depending on what team you are working on. The tech center will have to be upgraded at every level. So make sure you are aware of that every level you will have to upgrade your tech center. And this is probably going to be one of the most resource heavy items that you will have to upgrade, as well as the wall can be very expensive for iron. And then your centers can be pretty costly too at higher levels. Those will likely be the most expensive items you build outside of your actual headquarters levels. All right, so let's dive into the fastest way to get this done. First of all, obviously playing all the time, doing everything you can, all your daily stuff to get as many resources, as many speed ups as you can, because that is going to help tremendously, because no matter how fast you build, you're always going to need resources. You're always going to need the speed ups. So keep those on hand. Try not to waste them on other builds. And we'll go over items to avoid here towards the end when you're building. So starting with the tech tree, you'll want to go into your development tree and check out all the building and tech research items in here. So if you're working on your tech stuff, mainly focus on your tech tree. Once you have your tech tree done, then you can start researching other items, but I highly recommend only doing things that have minimal cost. If you are trying to get to headquarters 30 as fast as you can, every bit of the resources you can save goes a long way. So one of the best ways to save and one of the best ways to get points on tech versus day is going to be coming into this versus dual tech center and upgrading these items here, because they cost no resources outside of Valor badges. So if you're trying to open up boxes on versus day, you can come in here, easily do so, and not have to worry about burning a bunch of resources. And it is also very important that you come in here anyways, because you need to get this up to level 20, then to come over into special forces to start working on this tree, which unlocks tier 10 troops. And if you are focusing on headquarters 30 and tier 10 troops, working on development, getting the build research, coming in Alliance Duel, getting this unlocked, and then going to Special Forces is the fastest way to get both of those 2 things accomplished. And it's going to be the cheapest way for you to save a bunch of resources too, and get a lot of versus points in the process. So you're getting max efficiency and doing a lot of different things at once when you follow that path. So as you work on your tech and upgrading, you're always going to have a stopping point, because your tech center will always have to be upgraded to finish the development tree. And once you get to 23, you'll be able to get most of the development tree done. So if you are stuck, go and do something cheap in the tech tree. Just don't waste a bunch of resources. As far as resources go, when you go to build something, you'll see in this scenario, I have to hit obtain. When you hit obtain, use these resources first at the top before you go into your level tier chest. Saving as many level tier chests as possible will go a long way in the end, because the higher your headquarters is, the more valuable those boxes become. So not using them until you need to or you start running out of resources at a higher level will be more beneficial. So be very careful if you go to hit upgrade and then you click replenish all, that it's not using the boxes you don't want to use. So to the buildings that you want to build, focus on one of the items that you have to upgrade constantly, such as one drill grounds. Don't try to upgrade all your drill grounds every time you level up. You'll be able to catch up those later. And as you upgrade your tech center and everything, these will become cheaper and more efficient for you to build later on anyways. So try not to build too many other things, just one drill ground. Same thing with your barracks. Try not to upgrade all your barracks, which you don't want to do that anyways. You'll want to stagger your barracks for the training benefits, which I had done in a previous video, a versus day video about training and the ladder strategy. And then same thing with your centers. Make sure you pick a center that you want to run with. If you want to run tanks, upgrade your tank center. If you want to run air, make sure you start focusing on the aircraft center. I had started upgrading the tank, and now I have to spend a lot more resources to now catch up my aircraft center because I have switched to aircraft. So plan ahead. You do have to upgrade these in order to unlock the next center anyways. So it's almost unavoidable because you don't get all three of these out of the gates. Then coming over to your resource production centers. If you see here, I have upgraded some of these just barely though. Some of them are still level 1. Some of them might be level 15 or so because the resources to level them up at this level are so minimal. And wait to do this until you're much later in your headquarter progress. If you try to do this at the start of the game, these are going to be more expensive in comparison to where I am now, and it's going to take you a lot longer to build. So just hold off. There's no reason to try to rush these and upgrade these as fast as you can because most of your resources will come from daily tasks and your trucks and your secret mobile missions. And then also if you get on the Alliance train. So there's a lot of other ways, as well as fighting zombies on the world map, that you can get resources. And the zombie invasion or the gold zombie event is probably one of the best events to kill zombies and get tons of resources from too. So making sure you're active, farming those resources, that's the best way to get resources for upgrading. Don't try to rely on these production buildings here or it will take you a long time. So don't worry about spending resources and upgrading all these. Same thing with these training bases. You can upgrade these after you get, once you're at a higher headquarters level, you can get into upgrading these. And I can simply do it by hitting this button here on the gems for free because I have 4 hours of free building at where I am now. So I can upgrade most of these for free up to a certain level and it doesn't take a ton of resources. But just be mindful. Every time you upgrade something, you are using resources and those resources add up. So don't just go crazy upgrading whatever. One thing I would say absolutely do not level up is going to be your material workshop. While these seem like a good idea at first, and they do produce your ceramic that you'll end up wanting to upgrade your getting your legendary guns your legendary gear with, these in the long run do nothing for you. So I would say just skip these entirely because you don't get a ton of return on them and they're just going to suck a bunch of resources. Or however, these are good to upgrade. Just go in here once you get high enough and just do a couple for free. As you can see, it's just a couple thousand here, just a couple thousand there. But don't go too high. Try to save as many resources again as you can with those. All right, so let's talk about buying speed ups and resources here. So let's go into the VIP store. I don't typically buy out the resources at the top here. One, because you don't get a ton of value for these for the amount of gems that you spend. I would rather use gems on things like stamina or these drone skill chip chests here. Things like that make a little more impact are a little cheaper, better value. Advanced teleports are really good too, especially if you're later on getting into, say, Season 1. And then coming down here, if you unlock VIP 7, 8 through 10, buying the speed ups out of here are really, really good value. And I buy those about every week when this resets on my main account. So that is where I would be spending gems. And what I would be buying out of the store would be the speed ups, not so much the resources. Alliance store, same thing. Coming down here, getting your construction speed ups and also your tech speed ups. Don't be buying the resources. Don't be buying these chests out of here. They're just extremely overpriced for what you're getting. And then same thing with the honor shop. These honor medals are very hard to come by, especially early on in the game. And if you get 5 legendary gear blueprints, you can upgrade a level 40 piece of gear to 1 star, and that's going to give you so much more benefit than having, say, 10 of these legendary resource choice chests. So overall, don't spend on these boxes. That is also a waste. One place you can buy them would be here in the campaign store. This is a good place to buy resources and an excellent place to buy speed ups. As you get farther in the campaign, these campaign medals will be easier to come by, and you'll be able to buy a lot of these out every week. On my main account, I'm maxed out on the campaign. I auto run the campaign every couple days, and every week at reset, I buy this entire store out aside from the ceramic. Okay, so to answer some of the questions about what happens if I try to level up too fast, or are there any penalties to leveling up too fast? Well, there's almost answered the same way, where there really isn't any significant impacts to your account if you were to level up fast, outside of a few things along the way, like not being able to start your secret mobile because maybe your heroes aren't high enough, or you try to do ghost ops. And as you see here, the higher you go, the higher these requirements are. And I don't have all the heroes. I have Diva, but I don't have a Murphy that's 3-star. And it's really hard for me to get enough level 100 heroes. So it becomes harder to hit these markers for doing things like this. And then your marches will also be a little bit lower than other players that might have the same headquarters that have been there for a while, because you'll have to not only push your headquarters, but you'll also want to be pushing your barracks to get your armies upgraded. And about every 5 levels, you'll have to upgrade your barracks anyways. So there's not an issue with you upgrading your barracks here and there when you have other things going on, or you can't maybe start a headquarters build, or you're waiting for another like I'm waiting for the Alliance Hub. I can start a barracks build just to get that ready to go. So when I hit headquarters 24, I can get this to 24, get my tier 8 troops, and then start pushing for headquarters 25. And then really the only other significant impact to your account is going to be resources. Not only are you going to struggle for resources for upgrading, but you're going to have issues with doing big tech researches, which again, you'll want to avoid. And then for upgrading and training troops, you're going to be low on resources for doing that. So just be mindful about what day you're on if you're trying to train troops or you have a war coming up. Don't be doing big builds and using up all your resources, and then all of a sudden you can't train troops or you can't heal troops. So that is going to be the only downside to this. You're going to be burning through a lot of speed ups, a lot of resources, and you're going to have to make a lot of sacrifices along the way. However, when you hit headquarters 30, the world just opens up to you. Your resource chests become so much more valuable. You're able to start doing more tech. You're able to start upgrading all your other buildings and getting everything ready for whatever season you're heading into, focusing on the buildings you want to focus on. And then whenever headquarters 35 tech tree comes out, you're ready to start jumping into that right away. And now you can switch gears and start focusing on the Special Forces tree, getting down here, doing the minimal work to get down to these bottom 4 and eventually get your tier 10 troops. And that is where the money is made on this. I hope this video helps explain what you need to do if you're trying to start a new account and the fastest way to get to Headquarters 30. I did want to mention too, being in an alliance certainly is a significant impact on the resources you get and the speed ups you get from these alliance gifts. Make sure you're donating to the tech tree to get your alliance badges so you can buy the shop items like the speed ups and things like that without having to waste gems or actually buy them. If you're wondering about the time to get to Headquarters 30, if you're pushing really fast, I have been playing for about 3 weeks. While I haven't been fully devoted to this account, I'm still at Headquarters 23, should be at Headquarters 24 within the next couple of days. And then the push to 20 or the push to 30 will probably take me a couple more weeks if I can get the resources and the speed ups to do so in a reasonable fashion. Well, thanks for watching, and I hope you all have a great day.